Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am back with one of my favorite videos every month, my monthly flip through. So in this video, I'm going to be flipping through my personal planner. For these after the pen flip throughs, I don't actually flip through my work planner or Sophia's memory book. Work planner, just because there are student names and just other notes that I'm just a little bit worried about like flipping through just in case. And then Sophia's memory book, I do a full year flip through of her memory books whenever I finish. I just like to take my time with the memory books. I'm not worried so much about like finishing it every single week. And so as I'm taking my time with it, I just like to be able to flip through it all at once when I'm done with it. So that's the reason I don't flip through those. And what I'll be flipping through is going to be my personal catch-all planner, some budget stuff, social media stuff, and faith stuff. And one of the things that I discussed in my September planner lineup is that I was going to use different sections and just add in notes. But what I found is that in the month of September, I was pretty much just using the single daily page, and it worked out totally fine for me. So I'm super excited about that. It kind of helped me transition into like being able to use a single planner for October too. So, like it's always a change around here in my world. So we're really just gonna be flipping through this one single planner. And so the setup here is a half letter size. Cover is from Talia. Which I could not find it on Amazon anymore, so I didn't link it in the planner lineup video. I'll try one more time to try to find it. But I did get this from my sister who purchased it on Amazon. The discs are the black metal Mickey discs from the Happy Planner. And then I added in just a couple of like decor pieces. This one is printed on like acetate paper. It was a coloring page from the Happy Planner, still available on their website. And then I have some cover pages from cloth and paper that came in on their coil bound. And so it's already starting to get stuff scuffed up, but I'm just using it for September. So, and then this is the page that kind of talks about the lineup. And then this page has a list of like the different sections that I was trying to kind of like include in my personal catch-all. So it's my personal budget, wellness, gratitude, notes about Sophia's memory book, things that I would want to transfer to her memory book later on, social media, and faith. And what really ended up happening was, like I used it as I needed to, and I wasn't really worried so much about like these categories. But I did have a section for budget. I did have a section for food logging. I tracked Sophia's stuff just straight through like on the pages, like in the hourly blocks that you'll see later. And then social media, I had a little section where I would track Instagram posts. And faith ended up like on notes pages mostly. And so that's pretty much it. I do have some like beginning pages and ending pages from the cloth and paper that I put in here, but I pretty much never used it. And so these pages are just in here just to be in here. And then the monthly dividers are from Tool. I purchased this as part of a like purchase that I made for clearance daily pages, and those daily pages from Tool are what I'm using for September. And so I'm flipping to September here. This was a random like old planner that I cut down. It was the cover of a planner. I cut that down and put that in here. And then so here are the notes. I have some random notes to myself too. So this is what it looks like. It is going to be mostly pen. Like I'm super functional in my personal planner, so this is what it looks like. Right here is where I put Instagram posts, and then like anything budget or receipts that I have, my to-do list, and then here's my food log. And then again like Sophia notes, my notes, events that we have all end up on this hourly. And it's broken down into 30-minute intervals, which has been working out super awesome. So this is pretty much it. You'll see this as I flip through all of it. Again, another note to myself, so I'll move that to this front section here. Okay, so that's what this page looks like, right? And then here is, again, like my faith notes ended up on like these, like either the bulletin that we get from church or, just on like a regular sheet of paper. And so I'll have to blur out some of this just because there's like prayer notes and things like that. And like the name of the church, things like that will be blurred out. But, like I would just punch them in when I got back from church. So that's been really cool. And so this is what it looks like. If I needed extra room, I would just add in a notes page. And so that's what that looks like. But otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward kind of thing. I ended up like pretty much not shifting any of my notes outside of this half planner, with the exception of like some classic size notes that I didn't want to scale down to half letter. And I'll show you that in a minute. Those are in fact these little notes right here. But those are like classic size pages that I have in my home binder, and so I was just keeping that in a classic size just so I could have it separate. Right, this will be blurred out. Like it's a prayer list, but this is what the page looks like, and I just put the post-it right on top. All right, and again, that's going to be blurred out because they are names. And I'll have to go through and just kind of like look through and just make sure that I don't have like any prayer requests that like are private concerns that I want to blur out. What I do is like if I need a notes page, like you can see this side was blank. So this is the 16th. This page would have been for the 16th, but since I didn't need the extra page for the 16th, but I did need one for the 17th, I just made it so that way it's like a spread like this. So these are just post-it notes, sticky notes from the 17th that I just posted on the back side of the paper, and so it could be like this. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's why this page is empty right here. This is me, like, this is some social media stuff. I was sketching out some ideas for what I wanted to do. So like, again, Faith ended up like this. Some of my social media stuff ended up on like these notes pages. And again, like Instagram was here. Right, again, like more social media stuff. Right, and then here are my notes from church for the 19th. I had 2 copies of it, and apparently I punched them both in. But these are the notes for like the 19th right here. All right, so that's what that looks like. I stopped posting on Instagram for a long time, and then here we go. We come back to posting. I had this random, this was my original planner, like the one that I started off 2021 with, the At a Glance daily pages. And I was planning to use it in September, but then I also, you know, had found these. So it worked out that I really love this, you know, like having the day to one page. But I am going back to this in October, but this was just a random page of notes that I still had. And so I put it in here just so I could remember that I needed to transfer those notes to, you know, like move those notes forward, those tasks forward, so I can continue doing that. Right. So again, this is very functional. I do use my planner very functionally, as you can see here. Sophia colored this, and I don't know what she did, but she was trying to write her name, I think, like, but it didn't fit in the little picture, so she wrote the rest of it here. I'm not sure what is up with that, but she did that on the 24th. Again, still staying very functional. This washi right here apparently has like some residue. You can see here it like messed up this side of it, but you know, I'm okay with it. And then again, like our sermon notes, on the back of this, I listed like our food, because since we had a fellowship meal, I ended up eating a bunch of food at lunchtime. And so this is the rest of the food from the 26th that I ate. And then here I'm just like deleting some random tasks. I do use like a digital app to track like long-term tasks, just things that like once a month ends, like the end of September, I just take all the notes that I've just been transferring from day to day to day, and I just put it into a digital app. And so like after like having it sit there for a couple of months, I go through and just delete all the like, oh yeah, like these are from like August, for example. I just delete them. I didn't do them in August. I didn't do them in September, so it's time to go. So again, these are prayer concerns, so like that'll be deleted, or like blurred out. But those are just like, again, me just carrying forward across September all of the prayer concerns that I had received specifically to pray about, in addition to all of the just general prayers that I make on a regular basis. And then here I got my package for Wild University, so I went ahead and paid basically it's almost $200, but the $200 fee to enroll for another year of Wild University as my treat to myself. Then I had like a random like post-it note from work with some like food notes, and also like a prayer request, so like that will be blurred out, but like it's a post-it note that I had from work, so I'll put that on the back side here from the 28th. And then was basically very lazy on Wednesday, so that's the one single sticker that I've used pretty much this entire month. And then this is the very last page. And so that's pretty much it. Again, straightforward flip through, I think. I was able to like use that cover right here. I was able to basically keep it mostly to this. And now I'm going to show you like some of the classic size pages that I have for September as well. So you guys are going to get a sneak peek here if you're watching this video. But this is my setup for 2022. And because I've already set it up for 2022, I decided to move like my 2021, like September, October, November, December Franken planner, like at least the sections in here as well. And so I have my beginning sections right here. And so some of the things that I did use in September were these like year at a glance pages. I do still use this to track like events outside of September. So October, November, December, and then anything in 2022, 2023, or 2024, I have in these like year at a glance pages. And I've made my own here. And so I have these, I haven't tracked anything in 2023, but I do have them all the way through December of 2024. And these are like pages that I glued down myself. I used a year at a glance page and just kind of like found months that matched, and I glued it onto a second year at a glance page. But you could also do this, just cut it out and then write or like use a sticker to make the names to like on filler paper. So, I think it's just a great way to kind of use some of these year at a glance pages just because I haven't been using them. So I did use those to track future events. And then in this section, I have a couple of, again, like classic size pages that I didn't want to shrink down to half letter size just for the month of September. And again, it's mostly like TV shows and things like that that live in my home binder. So the first thing here is we were wrapping up the end of My Little Pony. So one of the things I noticed with My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is that they do have a couple of clip shows, which are, it was basically like, anyway, if you watch it, they were putting together like clips of the shows and adding some new animation in there. So we did watch one of them, but there are like a few more that we haven't finished. So I'm still going to leave this in here. And even in October, we're just going to be like trying to finish that up. And then like we were working on some ideas for Halloween costumes. And so here's an example of like a pirate Pinky. We are not dressing up as Pinky. And then I like drew the worst Fluttershy. I am not a doodler. I tried my best, but like I like her hair, but like what is going on with her face and her body, I have no idea. But Sophia decided to add her like hands and feet, even though she's a pony, and then wrote half of her name. We also are, like I am at least, watching through Equestria Girl. So this is the first version of it. And then I reprinted the photo just because, it's a little cleaner. It's not quite so pixelated. And then I've been trying to watch through the series. So these are notes that I have for that. And then we are planning for a trip in November and December. And so I'm trying to come up with like costumes, like some holiday outfits for that trip. And so these are just some ideas that I have, and like my strapless bra and belts and some accessories and like essentials that I need for that. So that is in here as well. And these are just going to live in here until I finish using them. And once I like use it or finish whatever it is, I will put it into my home binder. But right now it's in like what I call an active section. And so I'm still actively using these sections or these pages. And then this last one is like, I decided to go back to the very beginning and start off with the first generation My Little Pony TV show. And so these are like the names of the episodes, and so I'm just checking through them as I finish them, and that's just like whenever I get a chance. So I did it for some, like let me see, like I did like some in like 2 episodes in September, and that's totally fine. It's not something I have to like finish within a month. And so again, this is more like long-term notes. I didn't want to shrink it down to half letter and then like have to shrink it back up to like classic size just because they are more long-term. There's nothing in here that's only for September. They're just like, they span before September, into September, and then past September. So I didn't want to like change the sizes just for the one single month. So they live in here, and that's pretty much it. Those are the sections that I have for September. And this is again like a sneak peek of what I have set up for 2022. And so that is my flip through. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. And until the next video, bye guys.